The night sky burned with strange colors as if the stars themselves were alive. A small human craft fell through the clouds, its engines broken, its wings shaking in fire. Inside the craft was one man, a lone human explorer. His name was Daniel. His breathing was heavy, his hands tight on the controls. He whispered to himself, "Not here, not like this." But fate had already decided. The craft hit the ground with a crash. Metal bent, sparks flew, dust rose in the air. Daniel pushed the broken door open and fell out coughing. He looked around and froze. This was not Earth. The sky was too close, the ground glowing faint blue, the trees tall and shining like glass. Strange flowers opened and closed as if they were watching him. Every sound in the air was alive, every shadow moving with secret eyes. Daniel stood, his body hurt but not broken. He took a breath and listened. At first there was silence. Then came footsteps, slow, careful, heavy. They were not human. His heart jumped. He reached for the small weapon at his belt, but his hands shook. The sound grew louder. He was not alone. From the mist a figure appeared. Tall, strong, and not of Earth. The creature walked like a human, but its skin glowed faint silver under the alien moon. Its eyes burned gold, deep and endless, as if holding secrets older than stars. Its voice broke the silence, low but clear. "One mate for life, and you have just claimed me." Daniel froze. His mind tried to understand, but the words cut through him like fire. "Mate, what are you talking about?" His voice cracked with fear and disbelief. The alien did not move closer, not yet. It only watched him, eyes fixed, body tense as if ready to fight or protect. "You touch the ground of my world," the alien said. "Our bond has chosen. You are mine now, and I am yours." Daniel stepped back, shaking his head. "No, that's impossible. I'm human. You can't mean that." He felt the ground behind him, nowhere to run. The alien took one step forward, slow but firm, and Daniel felt something strange deep inside his chest. A pull, a spark. Not pain, not fear, something else. Something he could not name. His hand touched his wrist and his skin burned hot. He looked down and saw faint lines glowing under his flesh, small marks appearing like symbols. They were not his. They were not human. Daniel gasped, his heart racing. What's happening to me?" The alien's eyes softened, almost gentle now. "The mark of the bond," it said. "You cannot escape it. Our kind chooses once. One mate for life. No more, no less. And the bond has chosen you." Daniel shook his head again, desperate. "No, this isn't real. I don't belong here. I have to go back to Earth." His voice was full of panic, but the alien only watched, calm and unbroken, as if it had seen this before, many times in a long life. The wind moved through the strange trees, carrying whispers. The flowers bent toward them, glowing brighter, as if the whole world itself knew what had just happened. Daniel felt trapped between fear and wonder. His heart screamed to escape, but some quiet part of him whispered to stay. The alien stepped closer now, only a few feet away. Daniel could see the lines on its face, the sharp jaw, the smooth silver skin. Its golden eyes locked with his, and he felt that pull again, stronger this time, almost unbearable. He tried to look away but could not. The alien whispered, almost like a promise. "You are not alone anymore. You are mine and I am yours. Our bond cannot be broken." Daniel's weapon shook in his hand. He wanted to lift it to protect himself, but something inside him refused. He could not hurt this being even if he tried. His hand lowered against his will and he stared at the marks glowing on his wrist. His breath quickened. His life was no longer his own. He did not choose this, but it had chosen him. The alien reached out a hand, slow, careful, waiting for Daniel to accept. Daniel's chest rose and fell as he fought himself inside. Every part of him wanted to run, but his body stayed frozen. The bond was real. He could feel it in his bones. His heart beat not only for him anymore, it beat for something greater, something terrifying. In that moment, Daniel knew his life had changed forever. He was no longer just a human lost on an alien world. He was claimed, bound, marked by destiny. The alien's golden eyes never left his, and the words echoed in his mind again and again. "One mate for life, and you've just claimed me." And with those words, the night grew darker, the stars above brighter, and Daniel felt the weight of a future he could not escape. Daniel walked with heavy steps, his eyes still wide from what had just happened. The alien had not harmed him, but every moment felt unreal, like a dream too strange to believe. The silver-skinned figure moved ahead of him, tall and silent, guiding him through the glowing forest. Daniel's chest burned where the mark had appeared, faint light still glowing under his skin. Every beat of his heart reminded him that something had changed forever. The forest itself seemed alive. Trees shimmered as if made of crystal, leaves glowing with blue fire. Small winged creatures floated in the air like sparks, whispering in voices Daniel could almost understand. The ground pulsed faintly under his boots as if the planet itself had a heartbeat. He felt watched, not just by the alien, but by the world around him. Daniel swallowed hard. "Where are you taking me?" His voice shook, though he tried to sound strong. The alien turned its head, golden eyes catching the moonlight. "To my people," it said. "You must be seen. The bond cannot be hidden." Daniel's stomach twisted. "I didn't ask for this. I don't want this bond." The alien slowed, its gaze steady but calm. "No one asks. The bond chooses. Our kind has lived this way since the beginning. One mate for life, never broken, never denied." Daniel shook his head. "Humans, we're not like that. We choose who we love. We're free." The alien's lips curled into something like a smile, though its eyes stayed serious. "Free or lost? Your kind wanders, never certain, never whole. Our way is different. Once chosen, we are complete." The words unsettled Daniel. He wanted to argue, but deep inside, a strange voice whispered, "What if it was true?" They walked until the forest opened into a wide valley. Daniel stopped, his breath caught in his throat. Before him rose a city unlike anything he had ever seen. Towers of crystal climbed into the sky, glowing with soft light. Bridges of silver connected them like threads of a web. The air shimmered with strange energy, and in the distance a great dome pulsed with colors like a living heart. "My world," the alien said quietly. "Welcome, human." Daniel stared in silence. For a moment he forgot his fear. The city was beautiful, alive, and impossible. He had traveled across stars, but nothing had prepared him for this. His eyes traced the glowing symbols carved into the towers, symbols that looked like the same ones burning faintly on his own skin. His heart pounded. As they entered the city, other aliens appeared. They stepped out from the glowing streets, tall figures with silver skin, golden or violet eyes. Their faces turned toward Daniel, their expressions unreadable. Some looked with curiosity, others with suspicion, a few with anger. Whispers filled the air, voices sharp like blades. Daniel could not understand the words, but he felt the weight of them. The alien beside him raised its voice, deep and commanding. The crowd grew silent at once. Daniel realized then, this alien was not just anyone. It held power here, respect, maybe even fear. They reached a wide hall carved from stone and crystal, its doors opening with a hum of energy. Inside, the air was cool, the light soft. Strange patterns glowed on the floor, spiraling into a circle. The alien stopped in the center and turned to him. "This place," it said, "is sacred. The council will come. They must see the bond. They must understand." Daniel's chest tightened. "And if they don't? What if they decide I'm not welcome here?" The alien's eyes darkened. "Then they will try to take you from me. And if you die..." "I die," Daniel's breath caught. The weight of those words hit him like a storm. This was not just some strange romance. It was life and death bound together by something beyond his control. Moments later, others entered. 5 aliens, older, their silver skin lined, their eyes glowing brighter than the rest. They walked with slow power, their voices echoing as they spoke to the one beside Daniel. Daniel could not understand, but he could feel the tension in the air. The words were sharp, cutting, like judgment. The alien at Daniel's side answered firmly, pointing at him, then touching the glowing mark on Daniel's wrist. The elder's eyes widened. Gasps filled the hall. One elder's voice grew louder, angry, shaking the crystal walls. Another shook their head in disbelief. A third leaned forward, eyes piercing Daniel like fire. Daniel felt trapped, standing in the center of something he could not understand. His heart raced, sweat on his face. "What are they saying?" he whispered. The alien looked at him, eyes filled with both pride and fear. "They say it is forbidden. A human cannot be chosen. They call it a curse." Daniel's stomach dropped. "Then what happens now?" The alien's golden eyes locked on his, voice low but steady. "Now we fight for what is ours. The bond will not be broken. Not by them. Not by anyone." Daniel's legs shook. He had never wanted this, yet now he stood inside an alien world, bound by something greater than choice. Around him, whispers grew louder, the council's eyes burning with judgment. The alien at his side stood tall, unshaken, but Daniel could see the storm building. For the first time, Daniel realized the truth. He was not just a visitor here. He was part of something forbidden, dangerous, and unstoppable. And outside the crystal walls, the city lights flickered, as if the whole world held its breath, waiting to see what would come next. Daniel sat inside a chamber carved of crystal and stone, his back against the wall, his chest rising and falling too fast. The council's voices still echoed in his head, even though he had not understood their words. Their eyes had spoken enough: anger, disbelief, fear. He was not welcome here. He was not supposed to be here at all. The alien, his so-called mate, stood at the door like a guard, tall and steady. Golden eyes never blinked, always watching, always protective. Daniel's wrist still burned, the faint symbols glowing beneath his skin. He rubbed at them as if he could erase them, but the light pulsed stronger every time he touched it. "Why is this happening?" Daniel muttered under his breath. "I didn't choose this. I don't even know you." The alien turned its head slightly, voice calm but deep. "You don't need to know me. The bond knows. It lives inside us now." Daniel clenched his teeth. "That's not how humans work. We need time. We need choice." His voice cracked with anger, but also with fear. The alien stepped closer, kneeling so their eyes met. Daniel could see the faint lines of silver skin glowing softly in the dim light. "Choice is an illusion, Daniel. Do you not feel it already? The pull, the connection?" Daniel looked away, but his chest betrayed him. He did feel it, an invisible thread pulling between them. Every time the alien moved, he felt it. Every time the alien looked at him, his heart shifted in ways he didn't understand. It was terrifying, but also impossible to deny. Suddenly, his wrist burned hotter. He gasped, clutching it, and when he pulled his hand back, the glowing marks spread further up his arm. Strange curves, like living language, etched themselves into his skin. He panicked. "What's happening to me?" The alien's eyes widened slightly but softened. "The bond grows stronger. You are becoming part of me, and I part of you." Daniel's breath shook. No, this can't. I'm human. This shouldn't be happening." His voice was weak now, almost pleading. The alien reached out, but slowly, giving him time. When the silver fingers touched his arm, the burning pain calmed, replaced by warmth, almost comfort. The marks pulsed softly, glowing in rhythm with Daniel's heartbeat. He stared at them, unable to pull away. He felt something then, an echo, a voice but not his own, inside his mind. It was not words, not exactly, but feelings. Calm, steady, protective. "I will not let harm come to you." Daniel's eyes widened. Did you just speak in my head?" The alien nodded once. "It has begun. We are linked now. Your thoughts will touch mine. Mine will touch yours. Not all at once, but in time, fully." Daniel's stomach turned. The idea of someone else inside his head terrified him, yet part of him felt less alone. He had crossed stars to escape loneliness, to find something bigger than himself. Now it had found him. He stood suddenly, pacing the room, his hands gripping his hair. "This is insane. If Earth finds out, if they see this, they'll never accept it. They'll take me back. They'll cut this thing out of me, whatever it is." The alien rose slowly, towering but calm. "They cannot cut it out. If they try, you die. And if you die, I die." Daniel froze. His chest tightened at the weight of those words. It wasn't just about him anymore. His choices carried another life now, tied to his own heartbeat. He stared at the alien, golden eyes glowing steady, unwavering. Before Daniel could answer, the chamber door opened. A younger alien rushed in, eyes wide with urgency. Their words were fast, sharp, and filled with fear. Daniel couldn't understand, but his so-called mate's jaw tightened. The golden eyes turned dark. "What is it?" Daniel asked, his stomach sinking. The alien turned to him. "Others know. Not all agree with the council. Some believe this bond is dangerous. They are coming for you." Daniel's blood ran cold. "Coming for me? To do what?" The alien's voice was flat, serious, almost like steel. "To end you. To end us." Daniel's heart pounded. He felt the bond burning hotter, his mark glowing brighter as if reacting to the danger. He could feel the alien's tension too, rage, protectiveness, a promise of violence. It was not his own feeling, but it moved through him like a second heartbeat. He stepped back, shaking. "I can feel you. I can feel what you're feeling." The alien nodded once. "That is the bond. We are no longer two. We are one." Footsteps echoed in the halls outside, fast and many. Daniel's fear spiked, but through it, He felt the alien's calm like a shield around him. Their thoughts brushed his again, strong and certain. I will fight for you. Until my last breath, Daniel's throat tightened. For the first time, he believed it. This being would not let him fall. And against his will, against his fear, Daniel felt something stir in his chest, not just the bond, but trust. The chamber doors rattled. Voices shouted outside. The alien stepped in front of him, tall and ready, silver skin glowing with faint power. Daniel gripped his burning wrist, his heart torn between terror and a strange growing connection. For the first time since the crash, he whispered not in anger, but in need. Don't leave me. The alien's golden eyes flickered, and the voice in his head answered softly, never. And as the doors broke open and shadows poured inside, Daniel knew his life was no longer his own. It was theirs. The chamber doors crashed open. Crystal splinters scattered across the floor as several figures stepped inside. They were tall, silver-skinned like the alien who claimed Daniel, but their eyes burned a darker shade, red instead of gold. Their armor glowed faintly, sharp blades in their hands humming with energy. Daniel's heart jumped into his throat. He backed against the wall, clutching his glowing wrist. His whole body shook. He didn't need translation to know why they were here. Their stares carried only one meaning: destruction. The alien, his bondmate, stepped forward, standing tall like a shield between Daniel and the intruders. The golden eyes blazed with fire, a sound like thunder rumbling in its chest. You will not touch him. The red-eyed leader hissed words Daniel couldn't understand, but his bond carried the feeling clearly. Abomination. Forbidden. End it now. Daniel's skin crawled. He could feel the hatred pouring from them, but he could also feel something else, his mate's steady rage, controlled and sharp. It burned in Daniel's chest too, not his own emotion, but shared through the bond. He gasped, clutching his heart. The first soldier lunged forward, blade raised. In an instant, his alien mate moved. The golden-eyed warrior's hand lifted and a surge of light exploded from its palm. The attacker flew back, slammed into the crystal wall and crumpled to the floor. Daniel's eyes widened. He had known this alien was strong, but this power was beyond anything human. It was terrifying, yet it was his protector, bound to him. More soldiers rushed in, the chamber filled with shouts and the clash of energy blades. Daniel ducked behind a stone pillar, his breath sharp and shallow. He could feel every strike through the bond, the rush of adrenaline, the fury, the pain as steel scraped against silver skin. Each hit made his own body flinch as if he too was being struck. Stop! Daniel shouted, but his voice was swallowed by the chaos. The golden-eyed alien fought with deadly grace. Blades clashed, sparks flew, crystal cracked under their weight. Daniel saw one soldier break through, rushing toward him. His legs froze. His weapon was still strapped to his belt, but his hands trembled too much to draw it. The soldier raised his blade, then stopped. His body jerked violently, glowing marks burning across his chest. He dropped the blade and fell, lifeless. Daniel looked down at his wrist. The marks on his arm were shining bright, pulsing with strange energy. He hadn't moved, hadn't attacked, but somehow the bond had acted for him. Daniel's breath came fast. What did I just do? His mate's voice echoed in his mind even while fighting. The bond protects. You are not powerless, Daniel. Daniel's fear mixed with awe. For the first time he realized this was not only the alien's fight, it was his too. The red-eyed leader shouted, pulling the remaining soldiers back. Their eyes glared at Daniel, their faces twisted with hatred. Then they retreated, disappearing into the glowing streets outside. Silence fell. Daniel's ears rang. His chest rose and fell too quickly. His mate stood over him, silver skin bruised and cut, golden eyes still blazing. They will not stop, the alien said, voice low and heavy. The council is divided. Some want to protect us, others want us gone. Tonight was only the beginning. Daniel shook his head, panic building again. This is insane. I'm just one man. I didn't choose this. Why should your whole world want to kill me? The alien stepped closer, kneeling, placing a hand over Daniel's wrist. The warmth spread again, calming the burning marks. Because you are human. Because you are different. Our kind is never bonded with yours. They fear what they don't understand. Daniel's throat tightened. And you? Do you fear it? The golden eyes softened for just a moment. No, I trust it. I trust us. Daniel wanted to argue, but the words caught in his throat. Deep inside, he felt the bond pulsing, Not chains, but connection. A link that only grew stronger with every moment. Outside the chamber, the city roared with unrest. Cries and shouts echoed through the glowing streets. Daniel and his alien mate moved quickly, slipping through hidden passages carved deep in the crystal. The halls twisted like a maze, glowing symbols lighting the way. As they ran, Daniel's thoughts spun. He felt the alien's exhaustion, the sting of its wounds, the fire of its determination. Each feeling bled into him, making it impossible to tell where he ended and the alien began. Finally, they emerged onto a high balcony overlooking the city. Fires burned in the distance. Groups of aliens gathered below, some chanting, others throwing stones at the great crystal towers. The world was breaking apart, and it was because of him. Daniel gripped the railing, his chest heavy. "This is my fault. If I hadn't crashed here..." His mate cut him off, voice sharp but steady. "Do not blame yourself. The bond would have found you, no matter where you were. It was written in the stars." Daniel turned, anger flashing. "Don't give me destiny. I don't want this. I just want my life back." The alien's golden eyes darkened, but there was no anger in them, only sadness. "And if I told you, you will never have your old life again?" Daniel's breath caught. Deep inside, he knew it was true. The bond was not something he could break. Even Earth could not erase it. His life had been rewritten the moment his ship crashed onto this world. The alien stepped closer, placing a hand over his chest. The bond pulsed, warm and steady. "We are not enemies, Daniel. We are one, and together we will survive what is coming." Daniel stared into those golden eyes, his heart torn between denial and belief. Below them, the city burned brighter. Above them, the stars shone cold and silent. Between those two worlds, he stood bound, no longer just human, no longer just himself. And far away, deep in the blackness of space, something stirred. Earth had seen his crash. Earth had tracked his signal, and Earth was coming. The fires in the alien city still burned when Daniel stood on the balcony, his wrist glowing faintly, his breath heavy with fear and confusion. His bondmate stood close, golden eyes watching the horizon. The night sky shimmered with strange colors, but then Daniel noticed something new. Streaks of light cutting through the darkness, sharp and fast, like spears falling from the heavens. His heart froze. He knew those lights. They were not meteors. They were ships. Human ships. Daniel's throat went dry. "It's Earth," he whispered, almost to himself. "They found me." His alien mate tilted its head, eyes narrowing at the descending streaks. "Your kind?" Daniel nodded slowly, his chest twisting. "Yes, my people. They must have tracked my distress signal. They've come to bring me home." The alien's face darkened, unreadable. "Home, or to take you from me?" Before Daniel could answer, the night split with thunder. Massive steel vessels broke through the clouds, engines roaring, lights piercing the alien city below. The sight was familiar to Daniel, yet now it felt foreign. These ships were from Earth, but his heart no longer beat only for Earth. He was tied to something else now, something he didn't understand, something he couldn't let go. The alien city fell silent, its people staring at the sky. The golden towers trembled under the roar of human engines. Then a booming voice echoed across the valley, amplified through the ship's speakers. Human survivor identified. "Daniel Hayes, prepare for extraction." Daniel's name carried over the city like a thunderclap. Every alien eye turned toward him. Whispers spread, voices sharp with suspicion, fear, anger. He stepped back, his stomach sinking. His mate's hand touched his arm, firm and protective. The golden eyes locked onto his. "They will not take you. The bond is ours. If you leave, you will die." Daniel shook his head, panic twisting in his chest. "You don't understand. If I don't go to them, they'll see this as a threat. They'll see you as a threat. They'll destroy everything here." As if to prove his words, beams of white light scanned the city, cutting across towers and streets. One beam landed on the balcony, bathing Daniel in a harsh glow. He lifted his arm to shield his eyes, the marks on his skin glowing brighter under the light. A voice from the ship boomed again. "Stand by, Daniel. We're coming for you." His chest heaved. Part of him wanted to run to the light, to feel the safety of his own people again, to believe he could go back. But deep inside, the bond pulled against that thought. He felt his mate's fear, sharp and deep, as if a knife had cut through both of them. The alien's voice brushed his mind, steady and desperate. "If you go, I will break. And so will you. Daniel stumbled, gripping the railing. The bond was not a chain, yet it bound him tighter than steel. Every heartbeat reminded him he was no longer alone. Below, the alien city erupted. Some shouted for war, raising weapons toward the human ships. Others fell to their knees, whispering prayers. The council members appeared on high platforms, their voices clashing like storms. Some demanded Daniel be handed over, calling him a danger. Others insisted the bond was sacred and must be protected. The city was splitting in two, and at the center stood Daniel. The balcony trembled as a human dropship descended, its engines shaking the crystal walls. Soldiers in armored suits stepped out, their weapons glowing with cold blue light. Daniel's eyes widened. These were not rescuers. They came armed for war. One soldier raised his helmet visor, his voice sharp through the comms. "Daniel Hayes, step forward. You're coming with us." Daniel's breath caught. He looked at his mate, golden eyes blazing with silent fire. He felt the bond pulse, heavy and unyielding. If he stepped forward, if he left, part of him would die. He knew it now, not just because the alien had said so, but because he could feel it. The alien stepped in front of him, body tense, voice like steel. He stays. The soldiers raised their weapons in unison. "Move aside," Daniel's heart raced. His skin burned with light, the marks glowing across his arm and chest now. He could feel both sides pulling at him. His people demanding his return, his bondmate refusing to let go. His mind screamed for choice, but the universe offered none. "Stop," Daniel shouted, his voice breaking the clash of wills. His body trembled, his face pale, but he stepped forward, standing between his mate and the soldiers. His voice was raw but steady. "If you fire, you'll kill me too. Because I'm not just human anymore. I'm bonded." The soldiers hesitated, their helmets turning toward each other. Confusion flickered through the comms. "Bonded? What is he talking about?" The golden-eyed alien's hand brushed Daniel's shoulder, sending calm through the storm inside him. Daniel lifted his wrist, showing the glowing marks. "This isn't just some alien trick. It's real. If you take me back, I'll die, and you'll start a war you can't win." Silence pressed heavy. The soldiers lowered their weapons only slightly, but their leader's voice came cold. "Orders are orders. You belong to Earth." Daniel's chest tightened. He looked at his mate. He looked at the soldiers. And for the first time, he realized he could not belong to only one. He belonged to both, and because of that, he belonged to neither. The bond pulsed stronger, his voice breaking but full of truth. "No, I don't belong to Earth anymore. And I don't belong to you," he said, turning to his mate. "I belong to us. Both of us together." The words hung heavy in the night air. The soldiers shifted uneasily. The aliens watching from the city below gasped, their whispers echoing like waves. Above them, the human warships moved into formation, weapons glowing brighter. Around them, the alien city bristled with energy, towers alive with power. Two worlds stood on the edge of war, and Daniel, one man, stood in the middle, bound to both, claimed by both and claimed by none. The bond pulsed inside him like a living fire. He knew the choice was coming, and it would decide not only his fate but the fate of two civilizations. The night air shook with thunder. Human warships hovered above, weapons glowing like angry stars. Below, the alien city pulsed with energy, towers alive with strange power, voices rising in fear and fury. Between these two forces stood Daniel, his wrist glowing brighter than ever, his chest heavy with the weight of a decision that could not be undone. His bondmate stood at his side, tall and unbroken, golden eyes locked on the soldiers who had come to take him. The human squad leader lifted a hand, signaling to advance. The alien city guards raised their weapons in return. One mistake, one spark, and blood would cover the streets. Daniel felt the bond pull tight inside him, a thread wrapped around his heart. His mate's emotions flooded through him, rage, protectiveness, a fierce promise that nothing would harm him. At the same time, the sight of the soldiers filled him with longing. They were human, his people, his chance to return. Yet he felt no comfort now, only cold distance, as if Earth had already become a stranger. "Daniel Hayes," the soldier barked again. "Stand down and come with us. Don't make this harder than it has to be." Daniel swallowed, his throat dry. His hands trembled at his sides. "If I go with you, I die. You don't understand what this bond is. You can't break it." The soldier's visor reflected the glowing marks on Daniel's skin. His voice came sharp through the comms. "We don't have time for alien lies. Our orders are clear. We're taking you back. The alien beside Daniel growled low, a sound like stone breaking. The bond pulsed through Daniel's chest, sharing that same fury, and for a moment he felt it as his own. He clenched his fists, his voice rising. No, I'm not a weapon. I'm not property. You can't just drag me back like cargo. The soldier's visor tilted slightly as if confused. Then what are you? Daniel's heart pounded. He looked at his glowing marks, then at his bondmate, then back at the soldiers. His voice came out raw but steady. I'm both. Human, yes, but bonded too. I can't go back to being just one. If I deny this, I deny myself. The words echoed louder than he expected. The soldiers shifted uneasily. The aliens in the city below gasped. Even the council members, standing high above, leaned forward, their glowing eyes fixed on him. Daniel stepped forward, his voice growing stronger. All my life I thought humans were free to choose, free to walk away. But we're not. We're just as lost as anyone else. I crossed the stars to escape loneliness, and I found something bigger than me. Something I never asked for, but something real. This bond, it's not a prison. It's the first time I've felt whole. His bondmate's golden eyes softened, filled with warmth that reached through the bond, steadying him. The voice brushed his mind, quiet but full of pride. At last, you see. Daniel turned back to the soldiers, his fists shaking. If you try to take me, you'll kill me. And if you kill me, you'll start a war with this world. Is that what Earth came for? To burn a city because I found something you don't understand? The squad leader hesitated. The weapon in his hands lowered only slightly. We can't return empty-handed. Earth won't accept this. Daniel's jaw tightened. Then Earth will have to learn. The alien city stirred with energy. The ground beneath them hummed as towers flared brighter, ready for battle. Above, the warships shifted in the sky, preparing to fire. Daniel felt the universe squeeze tight around him, two worlds on the edge of fire waiting for his choice. He lifted his wrist high, the glowing marks burning brighter than ever. His voice rang out, breaking across the silence. I choose the bond. I choose us. A wave of heat surged through him. The bond roared alive, spilling light from his skin, spreading across the balcony, washing over both alien and human alike. For a moment, all weapons lowered. Soldiers shielded their eyes. Aliens whispered in awe. Even the warships above flickered in their formation, scanners blinding with strange interference. Daniel staggered under the weight of the power, his knees almost buckling, but his bondmate caught him, holding him steady. Together, their hearts beat as one, and the light pulsed in rhythm. The squad leader's voice came again, but now it carried uncertainty. Daniel, what's happening to you? Daniel's breath shook. The bond. It's not just between us, it's bigger, stronger, it connects life itself. If you try to break it, you're not just destroying me. You're tearing at something the universe made. The words landed heavy. Even the soldiers could not ignore the light burning from his skin. Even the council above whispered, their arguments silenced. The bond was no longer something to hide. It was alive for all to see. Daniel stood taller, though his body trembled. He faced the warships above, his voice carrying out into the night. I am human, yes, but I am bonded too, and I won't choose one world over the other. I choose us. And if either side tries to take me, you'll have to face the truth. Neither side can win. The light slowly faded, leaving only the glowing marks across his skin. The air was heavy, silent, waiting. His bondmate leaned close, voice a whisper against his ear. You have spoken. Now we see if they will listen. Daniel's chest rose and fell, his hands still shaking. He knew this was not the end. It was only the beginning. Above, the warships did not fire. Below, the alien city did not attack. Two worlds stood frozen, uncertain, staring at the man who had chosen something neither side could claim. And in that silence, the bond pulsed steady and unbroken. The city had gone silent. The warships above hovered like steel predators, weapons still glowing but frozen in the air. Below, the alien towers pulsed with light, humming with restrained power. Between them stood Daniel, chest heaving, skin alive with marks that burned brighter than stars. His words still hung heavy in the night. I choose us. For a long breath, no one moved. The squad leader stared at him through the dark visor. The alien council above whispered among themselves, their voices low, almost fearful. Even the soldiers at Daniel's side lowered their weapons, uncertain. Daniel's mate stood tall beside him, golden eyes fierce yet proud. The bond pulsed strong between them, a rhythm steady and unbroken. Daniel felt its warmth spread through his chest, steadying his shaking hands. The squad leader finally broke the silence. His voice came sharp but unsure. "Daniel Hayes, your words, they carry weight. But Earth will not accept this. You belong to humanity." Daniel shook his head, his voice raw but firm. "I am humanity. I am proof that we can be more. If Earth can't accept that, then Earth will destroy not just me, but the chance for something greater." His bondmate's voice rumbled like thunder, echoing through the balcony. "If they try to take him, they will meet fire. His life is my life. His death is my death. That is the law of the bond." The squad leader hesitated. Even through the visor, Daniel could see fear flicker. Soldiers shifted uneasily, glancing at one another. The glowing marks on Daniel's body seemed to press on them like a silent warning. Then, above, the warships moved. Their engines roared, shaking the city below. Daniel's heart jumped into his throat. No. No, don't fire. But instead of missiles, a bright beam of light cut down from the largest vessel. It wasn't a weapon. It was a projection. A figure appeared in the sky, towering above them all. A human admiral, face stern and weathered, uniform crisp even in hologram form. His voice rolled like iron. "Daniel Hayes, Earth has watched you. We have tracked your signal, and we have seen enough to know this bond is real." Daniel's mouth went dry. His voice cracked. "Then why are you here with guns aimed at me?" The Admiral's eyes narrowed. "Because Earth fears what it does not control. A human tied to an alien, bonded forever, it is power. And power unchecked is danger." Daniel stepped forward, trembling but unbroken. "It's not danger. It's hope. You think I wanted this? I didn't. But it's here and it's real, and it's not something you can erase with fear." The bond pulsed stronger, golden warmth flooding his veins. His mate's hand brushed his arm, steadying him, giving him courage. Daniel raised his voice, carrying it toward the hologram. "You can't fight this. You can't own it. All you can do is learn from it." The Admiral's expression hardened. For a moment, silence pressed heavy again. Then slowly he turned his gaze to the alien city. "And what of your people? Do they accept him? Or do they see him as a curse?" The alien council stirred. One of the elders stepped forward, voice sharp and ancient. "It is forbidden. Never before has a human been chosen, but..." The elder's glowing eyes swept over Daniel, then to the golden-eyed mate at his side. "The bond is undeniable. We cannot erase what has been sealed." The words rippled through the city like fire. Whispers turned to cries, anger mixed with awe. Some shouted for Daniel's death. Others shouted for protection. The ground trembled under the weight of their voices. Daniel lifted his wrist again, the glowing marks blazing like fire. "Listen to me. You can fight, you can burn, you can kill, but the bond will not break. Not by Earth, not by this world, not by anyone. If you destroy me, you destroy a chance for peace. If you destroy us, you destroy the future itself." The air grew heavy, charged with energy. His words carried farther than his voice. Through the bond, through the city, even into the warships above. For a heartbeat, he felt everything, fear, anger, hope, confusion, all pressing against him like waves. Then, silence again. The Admiral's hologram flickered. His face remained hard, but there was a shadow of doubt in his eyes. "Perhaps," he said slowly, "the universe has written something we cannot erase." With that, the projection vanished. The warships hovered, then slowly began to pull back, rising higher into the sky. Their engines roared softer, their lights fading into the stars. The alien city still roared with division, but no weapons fired. No soldiers advanced. For the first time since Daniel's crash, there was no battle, only a fragile pause. Daniel dropped to his knees, his chest heavy with relief and exhaustion. His mate knelt beside him, golden eyes glowing softly. Their hand rested against his, and the bond pulsed with warmth. "You have changed more than fate, Daniel. You have changed the stars." Daniel looked up at the sky, where Earth's ships disappeared into the dark. His voice was a whisper, but it carried weight. "This isn't the end. This is only the beginning." And high above, beyond the stars, Earth listened. The alien council watched. The city waited. The bond burned brighter, steady and unbroken. One mate for life. And the universe will never be the same.